This is a community-supported legal education channel. Find out how you can support our mission at the links in the description below. Really interesting trademark case that a bunch of people have sent me and we just hadn't been able to get to till now is something to do with color changing paint. And I'm going to choose my words carefully because we're going to be using one of these as we're not using. One of these is being used as a trademark, and I believe color changing is not the trademark. The trademark is going to be Colorshift. So let's see what happens here. This is a picture of, I believe, the correct. Is this the owner? Is Green Stuff World the owner of the Colorshift trademark?
Yeah, they are the sole benefactor of the Colorshift trademark.
So this is what they sell, is paint that seems to change colors depending upon the angle and lighting and everything that you see it. It looks really cool. I am not disputing how cool it is. I would definitely be interested in buying paints like this to paint things with if and when I need to paint things. I like to create things, and my problem is that I get started on too many projects and then they just sit around while I don't finish them and get attracted to new projects. I'm great at, if I could make a living just starting projects and then handing them to somebody else, that'd be great. I don't know how to do that. And then there is another company called Vallejo, and they make a color changing paint called The Shifters. Colors shift depending upon the light or angle. Well, hang on a second. If this is trademarked as color shift and this is saying that colors shift, well, that's going to be a problem, right?
The main issue here was originally Vallejo was calling theirs color shift. So their product was called color shift, and they both fought over a trademark in Spain on the word Colorshift. They're both Spanish companies.
They're both Spanish companies. I couldn't tell from a name like Vallejo. The second product then, or the allegedly infringing product, is called Magic Dust. But remember, the trademark standard is not substantial similarity like copyright. It's confusing similarity. If it is confusing to a consumer trying to buy color-changing paint, and then they look and they see one company that's calling their thing Color Shift and another company that's calling it Colors Shift, that could be very confusing. So then there's a Reddit post. Green Stuff World, remember, Green Stuff World is the original trademarking owner. Green Stuff World issues copyright takedowns, or maybe it's a trademark takedown, I don't know, we'll see. Issued a copyright takedown on and a YouTube account strike to any creators using the words color shift in their videos. Maybe you can start to see the problem here. Are these YouTubers Vallejo? Are these YouTubers representing a competitor's product for sale in a marketplace? Or are they independent people who are reviewing Vallejo's product and using the same term that Vallejo used? Those two things are different. If you walk down the paint aisle and you see Green Stuff World and Vallejo next to one another and they both say color shift, yeah, I could see how maybe you could be confused. But if you go to a YouTube video and you go, I'm reviewing Vallejo's color shifting paint, well, you're reviewing it. Are you selling it? Are you causing confusion in the marketplace? Is an actual consumer going to be confused in their buying of a thing? Well, maybe that's a little bit less of a problem, or maybe that's a little bit different of a problem than walking down the aisle and seeing the two next to one another and not being able to tell the difference. Let's take a look, though, at some of this Reddit post. And the first comment says they're not the only makers or sellers of color shift paint. The terms have been around longer, etc. I don't know that anybody in the comments of Reddit is going to have a good legal analysis. Maybe we can watch a little bit of this video and see what's happening.
Hi, this is Naomi with Sword and Steel, and today I woke up to a surprise. So
the video was taken down.
I went into YouTube to find out what happened to my video, and I found out that it had been taken down due to copyright infringement. Now, I didn't know how that was possible.
Yeah, so that's one thing. If it's taken down by copyright infringement, that's not trademark. You can't use the Digital Millennium Copyright Act or YouTube's copyright takedown system for trademark. YouTube actually has an option for trademark. I'm not sure if everybody gets the option. I'm not sure if your account has to be so old or has to have so many subscribers or has to be so many views or something. But there is a button there for somebody has used my trademark in this video improperly. Now, she purchased it herself. That's also important. She doesn't represent Vallejo. She's not an employee or contractor or benefactor of Vallejo. And she said she purchased it. Now, we just did a whole video on copyright first sale. I'll link to that here. But how about trademark first sale? We saw the ROM Universe guy trying to say that there was a trademark first sale involved in ROM Universe. That's not what we're talking about here. With reference to trade in tangible merchandise, so the retailing of goods bearing a trademark, for example, the first sale doctrine immunizes a reseller from infringement liability. Such protection to the reseller extends to the point where said goods have not been altered so as to be materially different from those originating from the trademark owner. So a purchaser of a good that has a trademark in it doesn't incur a trademark infringement action because they resold the thing that they bought. Not quite the same as copyright, but it still has some kind of disconnecting function. You're not guilty of copyright infringement for reselling your copy, as long as it's a tangible copy. The digital copy in ROM Universe's case is why it doesn't apply, why first sale doctrine does not apply. Instead, here, Sword and Steel had purchased these products to review. Let's go back and see what more she has to say.
And so I looked to see who had asked for it to be taken down, because YouTube was able to show me that.
And let's see what is visible here. This is a copyright school action. It's a strike added as a copyright strike. So wait a second, this isn't even a trademark takedown. It removes the video, the monetization on the video and probably the channel now has been made ineligible for monetization, and they don't lose the strike until March 29th. So that was what, a 4-month period, or at least 3-month period. This about January, February, March. Yeah, so a 3-month period that they can't make money on their YouTube videos, I think is what that means. I think is what a strike means. That's a really harsh result for reviewing a product that you didn't even know had a trademark action against it. It doesn't. It's not supposed to be that way. Vallejo and Colorshift should be working out their trademark action between them. Colorshift should not, or rather Green Stuff World, should not be issuing takedowns at all for anybody who's not involved with Vallejo and Green Stuff World. And they definitely shouldn't be issuing copyright strikes. That's just wrong. That's just not how that works. That's just not how any of that works. So then there actually is some kind of dispute that Brandon found, and it is in Spanish, which I do not read very well. It says, Green Stuff World, products, paints, varnishes, lacquers, products against rust, etc. Okay, so this is just a translation of their trademark application. Okay. And Vallejo sends out a message, 13 December 2019. Dear friends, we would like to inform that we are changing, let me see if I can zoom in on this for you, that we are changing the name of our new range of Colorshift products to The Shifters. The change in the brand name is caused by the recent Spanish trademark registration granted to Green Stuff World, in force since 31 October 2019. Vallejo, as a producer of colors, considers that the shifting effect is inherent to the pigment characteristics, since color shift is a common English term, which has been very popular in the automobile industry for decades and used by both consumers and pigment manufacturers. Regardless, due to the trademark registration having been granted, we have no other choice than changing the brand of our newly released product. We thank you very much for your attention. We do apologize. And then Green Stuff World issues a statement on January 1st, 2020, this year. Dear community, yesterday, as soon as we realized what had happened with the Sword and Steel channel and the YouTube strike, we requested it be removed. And a few hours later, it was corrected. With this statement, we publicly apologize with Naomi for this serious misunderstanding, for having damaged her channel, and for having made her part of a legal dispute between companies that had nothing to do with her. The serious mistake on our part has been to clumsy act before informing ourselves, I think they mean clumsily, act before informing ourselves properly about the correct protocol to deal with YouTube and what the possible consequences could arise due to our actions, and therefore we apologize. We are a small family business, and this is my hobby and my life, and I am proud of what has been achieved over many years of hard work. For all this, I only hope that our entire trajectory is not judged due to a single human error that has been resolved. We have learnt from our mistake and hope that you could give us a second chance to make things better. Regards, Green Stuff World, General Manager Soriano Garcia. That's what's happened with the Colorshift trademark. Yes, you should be careful if you are the owner of a company. You should be careful what you call your products, because you have to clear those products' intellectual property rights and problems. Copyrights, trademarks, patents, all have to be cleared before you sell a product in the marketplace. You might come across a new way to make something and then find out that somebody patented it a long time ago and you just didn't realize it because they didn't make it yet, or they're selling the patent or licensing the patent instead of selling the product. That happens. You might find that you come up with a great name for something only to discover that somebody's already got that name and you have to figure out a different name. Or you might come up with a design or something copyrightable about your product that then you find out that it's substantially similar to somebody else's. And if you had access, which is the substantial similarity problem, it's a requirement, if you had access to their copyrighted work and then you created something substantially similar, well, then you're guilty of, or at least liable for, copyright infringement. Guilty is for criminal charges and liable is for civil offenses. So monetary damages for the most part, and injunctions, I guess, but nobody's going to jail over a civil matter that doesn't become a criminal matter somehow, like by lying under oath or by revealing some criminal activity that then gets prosecuted by a prosecutor, not the civil plaintiff. So that's what's happening there with the Colorshift trademarks and the Vallejo. What are we calling it now? Vallejo is now calling it the Shifters.
Yes, so if you look in TipStaff, I have one more link for you. This one should open in your Firefox. This is the box that she originally reviewed on her video. Her video had this box on it, which was the one that Vallejo was using before they changed to the Shifters.
So it was literally called Colorshift Airbrush Colors, Colorshift Eccentric Color Series. And now it's called the Shifters. Okay, so this is the new box. And they might even still have a problem with putting these two words together, saying that the colors shift depending upon the light or angle. Why not just call it colors change? Colors change depending upon the light or angle. Shift is a good word though, and so here's another problem. This is in Spain, right? So they're doing all this in Spain. What happens if Vallejo comes over to the United States and they show evidence that American car painters have been calling color changing paints color shift paints for a long time as a generic term and not as a descriptive term? This might not survive over here. This might be a merely descriptive trademark. And if that's true, if it's true as in the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office will uphold it that way, then this dispute wouldn't happen over here and come out in the same way. Then both companies can refer to their paints as color shifting, and they'd have to come up with some other differentiating name or logo or design or something. So what do you think of that? Let us know in the comments below. No, I am not offering to do a GoFundMe to raise money for Vallejo and their trademark. We've got one going right now, and I'm only one person. Until we are a full-on legal services organization that's ready to do that, no. But I do love to see these kinds of disputes and the way they play out, and we can all learn from them. So let me know what you think. This is a community-supported legal education channel. Find out how you can support our mission at the links in the description below. In the month of January, thank you to our $50 plus supporters, Apernari, John Steele, Gavin Barnard, Kyle Mudrak, Michael Pearce, Jan Negrey, Spirit Bear, Daniel Perez, Snorre Wisotzky, Blackleaf, Joe Tyson, Eevi, Benjamin Hitov, Steven, Cute Grills in your area, and Ottah. I did see we have a new supporter, Kaisel, or I'll see if I can find out how that's pronounced. Thank you very much for your support. You will start appearing in the crawls at the beginning of February. And thank you to the $5 plus supporters who are scrolling on the screen in front of me and will appear in the description of the videos we drop. I am Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. Thank you to Brandon and Tactical for contributing to the research we did today. I love you all. I will see you in the videos. Bye. Things you see at the train station. The timetables for the train. And a board waiting Kelly. She just senses me by Bluetooth, and then she goes.
What? What are you talking about now?